And we're back with Don Hartung, founder and CEO of H3Systems, in our ongoing series on business and security. As we've talked about, the range of topics is anything from computers and networks to policies and procedures. Today, in this discussion, we're really going to focus on leadership and IT being able to communicate more effectively.
And we can, when we say leadership, we're not only talking about the corporate level, we're talking about the business level leaders. So it's really, the goal here is to make sure that the leaders and staff are on the same page to attain the same goal.
And so even if you're a small business person without an IT person, maybe you've just got a consultant that comes in and handles your business every now and then, this can still apply, can't it?
It applies completely. Because as a business owner and you have that part-time person, you've dealt with the frustrations of not getting things done the way you thought they were or what you wanted, and you've waited. This will help you to bridge that gap.
Well, let's talk about IT and leadership.
Interestingly enough, I actually come from it in a holistic 360-degree perspective, not only from the IT perspective, but from the C-level, the owner, the board level. Because having been in business, working for the companies that I have, I've been engaged at those levels for certain things so that I can certainly understand their drivers. Because what you tend to find is IT doesn't understand the pressure that the CEO has or the CIO has, and vice versa, because it's two different roles, two different things. And doing all of that is the way you win solutions for people. And really, in the end, that's all we're doing. We're trying to secure things. The policies and the procedures are not really IT guys' world to worry about. But when you have good policies and good procedures in place, it makes the job much easier for those folks.
Well, and the other thing that you're dealing with is you're helping all stakeholders to understand the different perspectives that are there for each other. If I'm telling a default story, it's usually not a good one. So if I'm an IT guy telling a default story about why corporates telling me to do what they're telling me to do, it's probably not a very good one, is it?
Yeah, right. And they're talking past each other, right? The tech guy's talking tech and the CEO's talking business. And, traditionally, formerly, it's now changing, which is great. But it used to be that IT was a cost center. And, we can't put a lot of money in IT, and they were just a division of. Until, most recently, IT was never in the boardroom. Security wasn't in the boardroom. And it's now becoming that way. And I say boardroom because we talk corporate America, but it plays the same role in business. Business leaders and owners have to look at security and look at IT as a business partner, not a cost center. The interesting part is, as IT is being a business partner, and security and breaches, specifically breach notification and like is getting up to the boardroom and to the executives, they now understand it in a different manner. Yes, there are expenses and there's costs to things, but there's also solutions that now it may be an expense that I have to pay. Of course, it still is an expense, but what I've done is I've now done my due diligence to make sure that if something happens, and I say if, but really it's a when. Most thought leaders in the industry will tell you that it's not if, it's when. Most companies, they assume we're already compromised in some form or fashion. So what this does now is it says to the IT guy, I understand how the business works, as opposed to just slogging along every day, keeping the servers running. And the business leaders go, I understand the importance of IT and what's got to be done and how we can take security as a common thread between us to be successful in our business.
And then again, I wrap around it and I think, well, and a big part of why this is an investment is from a marketing standpoint. I can use it as a marketing piece. Hey, this is what we do. But I can also, it also is the preventative issue of taking a marketing hit.
Right. And, you notice how the big companies out there, and in general, whenever you have a partnership with somebody, you announce that.
Right.
You're proud of that. Because it's a great relationship. It's no different here in the security side. And on the hit side, if you do get compromised, it doesn't look good if you say, what did you do about it? And you have lots of dead air. But if you've done your due diligence and you've taken care of those things and said, we've done the best we can, knowing full well that we can't be 100% because we have to be, but we can't be because there's always something new. It's how you approach it. I mean, think about it. Most of your executives in companies, your business owners, they're coming in with a different set of skills. Even your CIO, a chief information officer, doesn't necessarily know how to manage a computer. But that's okay because their role was different.
Right.
And understanding that and crafting your message in such a way that not only can you give them what they're looking for, but you have the answer if they want that detail, makes it so much better because then the trust is there.
Right.
It improves the quality of the work relationship with your
Right.
executives. And then your executives now, when you come to them and say, yeah, I need some money to do this, they're more willing to say, yeah, okay, great. Let's figure out how to do that.
And the other thing is, I learn as an IT guy how to speak it in their language, how to show it as something that's supporting them and what's important to them, and also supports me and what's important to me. They tend to be the same thing. The crossover may not seem that big, but it's still.
Most certainly. You can almost say it's like speaking Chinese and speaking Mandarin, right? There's different dialects, but if you understand it and you can speak what they want, then you're really on the same page.
And you've really upped your game as an IT guy in a major way, haven't you?
Your IT position, but you as a valuable asset to the company.
Right.
Which is really what we're talking about in the end. That's how you make yourself valuable.
Right.
Not necessarily being the hardworking guy. I mean, of course, you have to be that. But if you're working hard, but the value add is the value that anybody else can add, whether it's perceived or not, this is where it takes you to that next level. And that's how successful leaders move up.
When I have the ability to look at something from both my perspective and upper management's perspective and be able to articulate those clearly, a lot of times those default stories about what upper management is up to go away, don't they?
Oh, most certainly. And that's the big difference is as a valuable addition to a company, that's where you add it. The more you know about the product, if you're an IT guy and you can sit in the room and say, not a marketing thing, but you can talk more about the product and what technology can do to help improve that product, they look at it differently because now they're looking at you as somebody who's, again, a partner to the business.
Right.
Not some guy who's just making the computers work.
Right.
Big, big difference. That's done through experience and through time.
And now part of what you bring to the table is that ability to work C-level, management, IT, and to move in between those and help everybody to start speaking the same language.
Oh, definitely. It's seamless for me. It's exciting for me because I like to help those IT guys who a lot of them want to move to the next level.
Right.
And I've seen this where an IT guy gets a promotion, but he's not really ready to be that manager because he's a manager versus an IT guy.
Right.
And he's a lead. I mean, it's a different set of skills completely. So helping to bridge that gap is a big part of what I do. And I think it's done in general, right?
So when you get to do those kinds of projects, it must be pretty thrilling to see people operating in new ways that are more effective for everybody. Well, and think about how often does an IT guy look at a new initiative and go, okay, how am I going to help to make this be more successful? And to be able to articulate that to management, that
is rare
and huge, isn't it?
And huge. And the minute, and you see that as we've changed and things are going, that's where we help people go, look at first question when you see something is not, oh, here we go again.
Yep.
But, okay, what is the reasoning for it so I understand it so I can help implement it? That's a game changer. That's a win, right? So I understand what you say. I'm technical. I know what you mean. I can then explain it so that we are all on the same page. Businesses would be more productive. People will be happy at work.
Don, thanks so much for the overview of this whole issue with being able to communicate more effectively with your IT people. Regardless of whether you're a CEO, a CTO, you're in leadership, or you're the owner of a small business and need to communicate more effectively with your consultants, this has been a great overview. If you'd like to see the entire video and hear the entire interview, click the Watch More button down below. We'll ask you for a little bit of contact information and then give you the whole video for your use to make you a better leader in business, with especially when it comes to your IT people. Don Hartung, CEO and founder of H3 Systems. Thanks for being here. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you, Chris.